I got like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I got like two like pimples or like zits up here, right on my lip, dude. And there's no worse feeling than having those on your lips. You ever get one right on your lip, dude? And then it makes you look like you have some sort of disease that was transmitted somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? Like I have an STD. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brock Gardner vs. the World. I am your host, Brock Gardner. This show is not sponsored, so you can support us for free by subscribing, liking, commenting, or leaving a 5-star review. Thanks so much for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm glad you could make it. It's called Brock Gardner vs. the World because I'm bursting the entire earth. That's a singing, dude. That's a singing. Hey, I speak English. That's a singing. That's a singing for my new play that I'm making. I'm actually creating a Brock Gardner vs. the World musical play, so that will be on Broadway very soon. Be sure to tune into that. Apparently, dude, so I'm reading the news, and apparently there was some dude that, like, got killed last year. Like, some guy named George Floyd. Okay, so some guy named George Floyd died last year, apparently. I never heard anything about it, but apparently it was like kind of this big thing that happened in Minnesota or something. And this guy named like Derek Chavez or something basically killed this guy for no reason as a policeman. And he was just found guilty. And everybody on Twitter was talking about it, which, again, I don't know why because I haven't really heard anything about this. Seems like it's not that big of a news story, you know. Didn't make that big of a splash, but no matter what, Derek Chauvin was found guilty in a court of law. He was proven guilty in a court of law. And what does that mean for us as American people? That's my question. I like to ask the big questions, you know. Derek Chauvin was found guilty. So sometimes you look at the news and you wonder what the headlines mean. You're like, okay, that's a headline, that's a news story, but what does it mean for me? Those are the questions I like to ask. Derek Chauvin proven guilty. What does it mean for us as the American people? Nothing, really. Not really anything. Do I think cops should be killing people for no reason? No. Probably not. Do I care that Derek Chauvin is guilty? No. That was like a year ago, dude. You know? If you want people to still care about it, do it like a week after the thing happened. You know what I'm saying? At that point, the court of law due process is just out the window at that point, I think. So you may as well just do it a week after the event occurs, so then everyone's kind of still on board with you and still cares about the issue, because I forgot about that whole thing, to be honest. And will this segment get me canceled? Yeah, probably. I don't care. Come at me, dude. Come at me, seriously. So that's just a piece of news I wanted you guys to know. Derek Chauvin was proven guilty, and dude, you know, good. He kind of killed that guy. That's my thoughts. That's my official thoughts on that, by the way. You can quote me on that, Wall Street Journal. Good. He kind of killed that guy. That's my official quote. My official thoughts on the Derek Chauvin trial. Good. He kind of killed that guy. This podcast is sponsored by Sparkling Ice. Sparkling Ice is way better than what did I drink? The LaCroix. I tried to drink some LaCroix because I want something sparkly to go down my gullet when I'm podcasting because it makes my voice clearer. Most of the stuff I drink, it like makes it like, I don't want to be gross. It makes me like phlegmy. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So then like this stuff kind of like clears the palate and I can speak clearer and I don't have to clear my throat every 5 seconds, which is what I have been doing. Anyways, this isn't sponsored by Sparkling Ice. If you guys are a company and you want to sponsor me, please do, bro. We got no sponsors. I'm really cheap. And you know what? I'll give your product a 10 out of 10 rating even if it sucks, dude. My listeners don't have to know that, but I will. So let's talk about the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. We got a lot to get to this show. I have a lot of TikToks, probably the most solid TikTok lineup of all time that we're going to listen to. And then I might talk about some book stuff later because I just like to. And then I asked you guys on Instagram what your favorite songs are so I can make a tier list of them. And you guys delivered a lot of songs, so we're going to take a look at that, maybe make a tier list out of your guys' favorite songs, because you guys, you know, your music taste kind of sucks, to be honest with you. But, so let's just start. Let's talk about Jake Paul and Ben Askren, dude. My first reaction is I've never cared about something less in my lifetime than the Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight. I saw a lot of I don't know if you guys saw, like, the face-to-face, I don't know what they call it in fake boxing. It's like a face-to-face, like, head-to-head, where it's kind of like weigh-ins for UFC, where they kind of, meet up and talk smack on each other. Oh, you're such a little baby. Oh, you're a little piss baby. Oh, your mommy's a little piss baby. Like, that kind of thing. And, like, so I've seen some of those, and they're so, dude, Jake Paul is, like, the worst trash talker I've ever heard in my lifetime, dude. There was one clip I saw that was, like, Ben Askren was like, yo, Jake, you want me to write your jokes for you? Or something like that. Like, kind of being like, you want me to write your jokes because you suck at writing jokes. He was like, yo, Jake, you want me to write your jokes for you? And Jake Paul's like, do I want you to read my jokes for me? And he's like, no, do you want me to write your jokes for you? Clearly saying it as clearly as somebody could. Do you want me to write your jokes for you? And Jake Paul just kept going, dude, this guy's asking if he wants me to read his jokes for me. Dude, he can't even speak the English language, bro. He wants to read my jokes for me. I'm like, I don't know if you're really, truly that retarded. I don't think he is. But that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He just, and then he was like trying to fight on the stage and stuff. And Ben Askren so clearly like didn't care to be there. He was just like, I'm just here to get the bag. I'm here to get the bag. And you know what? I respect the frick out of that, dude. I respect that so much. Get the bag. Put pride aside for a little while, and get the bag. And that's what Ben did, dude, and I respect him for it. He was just there kind of contributing. He's just like, yeah, Jake, you're such a, like, little baby. And Jake's just like, what did he keep saying? I don't know if you guys have seen this. I don't know if I want to watch it right now. But Jake Paul was just talking crap. He's like, oh, this is the effing fight game, dude. Go watch the clip. Go look up the best of, like, the highlights of, like, the face-to-faces, dude. They're so funny. Jake Paul just goes off on tangents, dude. He's taking it way too seriously. This is the effing fight game, bro. This is the fight game, dog. Like, what does that even mean? I don't even know what made him say that. I can't remember, but it was something that did not make any sense. And, yeah, Jake Paul, dude, I respected him for, like, half a second. But now, so he always brags about how he's 4-0. So if you guys don't know, Jake Paul is a boxer now. He used to be a YouTuber. Now he is getting into boxing. Ben Askren was a good wrestler. I'm pretty sure he's an Olympian. Then he went to UFC, and I think he holds the record for, like, the fastest knockout receiving. Like, he got knocked out the fastest ever. So he tried his hand at UFC. It didn't really pan. But he was a great wrestler. And Jake Paul challenges him to box. And so Jake Paul, the result of this match was Ben Askren got knocked out in the first round, like a minute and a half into the fight. Which is always the case with these things, dude. They never are like, I don't know. They're always either super short or they're super long and underwhelming. There's never really, these fights that everybody hypes up are all the ones I've watched, it never really pans. So Jake Paul now brags about what a good record he has. What is it, like 4-0? I think he's like 4-0 in his boxing career. But if you break it down, maybe I don't remember what it is. It's something like 3 or 4-0. And if you really break that down, dude, Jake Paul hasn't boxed a boxer. He boxed a YouTuber. He beat a YouTuber. He beat a retired NBA player. And he beat a wrestler. And he brags about his record. And I don't know if you guys saw the video after he beat Ben Askren, he was going crazy, just screaming. And I'm like, dude, he's not a boxer. This isn't like something to be crazy proud of. Like Ben Askren went in there, and it's such a sham too. The match was such a sham. I didn't watch the match, but I saw the knockout, and he hits Ben Askren. Ben Askren goes down for a minute, gets back up, goes over to the referee, and he's like, yo, I'm good. And apparently the referee was just like, no, you're not, and just called the match. It wasn't even like he was out cold. It wasn't like Nate Robinson at all. When he was just out cold on the floor, dude. He, like, got hit, stumbled back a little bit. I'm pretty sure he hit the ground, gets back up, tells the ref, yo, I'm good. And the ref's just like, no, you're not. And just calls it. And it's so phony. And then Jake Paul's just like, yes, yeah, let's go. Like, dude, get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Get in the ring with Tyson Fury. Get in the ring with somebody that's actually a boxer, dude. They will clock you, man. The UFC and wrestling and all these different things, they're different for a reason, bro. It doesn't just translate over to boxing, you know? Just because you're a good wrestler does not even, it's not even close to meaning you're a good boxer at all. And he just thinks he's something special now. So until he starts boxing people that are actually boxers, I don't respect his fighting career, to be downright honest. I think, I don't know. Anyways, that's all I had for the Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight. It was a absolute sham. And Ben Askren went home with like a cool million, dude. Him and his wife just like were dipping out of there with a cool milli. And it was just so clear that Ben Askren just didn't care, which is so dope, dude. Oh, it's so dope. I don't know if this is true. Braden told me this, is that on Logan Paul's podcast, Ben Askren was just like, yeah, if I lose, I make $1 million, and then like a couple 13-year-olds make fun of me at my wrestling camps or whatever. And that's just a good attitude, dude. I hate people that go into stuff with pride, and they're just like, oh, if I don't win, it's nothing. Like, obviously, for a Mike Tyson type, that might work. But for most people, dude, just go get the bag. Go get your arse handed to you and take the $1 million, dude. Go buy a boat. Go buy a boat and be a Lake Powell family or whatever. And drinking noises. Sorry. So yeah, there's my Jake Paul analysis for all of you guys. I don't know anything about fighting, but there it is. Okay, I also saw this thing. That Facebook is trying to make an Instagram for kids. So the title of this article is just funny. It says, experts say Instagram for kids is a terrible idea. Yeah. You think so? Facebook is working on a new version of its popular app that's targeted at children under 13. Dude, what? A pedophile came up with this. It's true, 100%. There's no way some normal person is just like, you know what? You know what we should do? You know, it'd be a good idea. You know, Instagram? Let's take that and just concentrate all the young, impressionable kids on one app. Have them all in one place. It skips one step. That seems like a Jeffrey Epstein thing to do. If you want my opinion, seems like a Jeffrey Epstein thing to do, to make an app that is concentrated to 13-year-old kids and younger. Because also, you ever have I always get these DMs, and I don't know if this says something about me as a person, as a character, but I always get these DMs that the profile picture is like hot chicks, and they just like have this sexy name like Victoria Lashankara or something like that, something French. And they'll DM you and they'll be like, hey baby. And it's like terrible grammar. It's like, hey baby, what are you doing tonight? And then you click onto their profile and it's like 0 posts, 0 followers, like 3 following. And you're like, it's so fake. So then, imagine that. So there's fake women on this app, right? And it gets a lot of people. I saw this video on TikTok where this old man was sorely convinced that these women were real and wanted to, make love to him, for lack of a better word. And so imagine on this app, dude, you have all these 13-year-old kids, sure, and younger. That's what's funny, dude. They put the cap at 13. No, I don't think kids should have social media ever, to be honest. I think social media is disgusting, which is funny because I'm making my career out of it. But social media it's pretty harmful, dude. Like my kids, dude, are going to have a flip phone until they're, 18. They can have a flip phone. to text and call, but they, that's all they get until they're out of the house. Sorry, not sorry, dude. Your boy grew up on the internet, dude. I know what goes on. And my kids don't need it, dude. They'll be happier without it. Your mind will just be clearer without it, you know? But anyways, so I think 13 is way too young to have Instagram in the first place, but then they're making it 13 and younger, kids under 13. So 13 is the max for this app, which I just feel like is a bad idea. Is that not a bad idea? Am I crazy? Am I wild? Am I wonky? Am I off the zoinkies? Is that wacko? Jacko? You can make so many, like, dude, okay. I'm not even gonna go that route. That'll get me in trouble. So you can lie about being 13 easily by clicking one button that says I'm 13. Everybody lies. Until you're 18, you lie about stuff all the time, whether it's making an email, going on, or going to, certain places. You have to be 18, downloading certain apps. What was an app that, like, asked if I was 18? It was some weird one. It was like Zillow or something. I was just like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, so you can lie about that easily with one click of a button. So what's stopping like a 40-year-old pedophile from getting on this app and making a fake profile saying he's 13, and then he just has this endless stream, and it's concentrated, dude. It's all concentrated. It's like Instagram, but it takes one step out of having to search for kids. It takes that one step out. It's a paradise. Not for me, for pedophiles. Which, it seems like at a board meeting, so that was my first thought when I saw this article. It seems like how many meetings do you think they had about developing this app, and that just never came up as a possibility that could happen? That just never came up in the conversation. Hey, maybe this could be like something that happens with this app. It's a little crazy, dude. Anyways, don't let your kids have Instagram, dude. If you're a young parent, let me give you some advice, because I am such a smart person. I am all-knowing. So let me give you some advice since you're so dumb. I would keep my kids away from social media, and I tell them why. Don't just say you can't have social media. Tell them why, dude. Give them the specifics. I'm going to just be straight up with my kids. I don't want you on Instagram because, number one, it sets unrealistic beauty standards for you. It gives you a weird complex. I'm a pretty solid dude. In my headspace, I'm pretty confident most of the time. I'm pretty secure with myself, and Instagram messes me up sometimes because you're just looking at all these people's highlight reels all day. And it subconsciously in your head, you're kind of like, man, my life sucks. But really, so does everyone else's. They just post the best stuff, and it makes it look like it's always that. So that's number one. Number two is you could just get to weird places on the internet that, you don't need to go to. And so, I'm going to just tell my kids that straight up and be like, so that's why you probably shouldn't have it. And it's just better to live your life outside, dude. Our generation moves so close to technology. I want the next generation, my kids' generation, to just move the opposite direction. I want to go backwards. Let's move backwards. We went too far, I think. We need to go back. 90s was probably perfect. We had CDs. We could listen to music, Walkman. We had TVs, internet. But it wasn't to the extent that it is now where everything is hooked up, dude. Yeah, the 90s was just perfect. We went too far with technology. I think we got to go back a little bit. So I'm hoping the next generation, like my generation, will teach their kids to just be like, don't go on the internet. We're not doing that anymore. We're having flip phones, and we're only listening to, radio. And if you wanna play a video game, you go play outside. Go play outside. Or you can have, the Atari. But kids will get bored with that in 30 seconds. But, that's not going to happen because it's so easy to parent with devices, dude. It's so easy. You see it all the time, dude. I don't just talk out my butt with this stuff, dude. I see it all the time. People parent with devices like this, dude. Kids will pop out the womb, they'll hand them an iPad mini. Isn't that insane? Kids will literally, I've seen that happen. multiple times. Babies will come out of their mother and they will hand them iPad minis and they'll start watching Cocomelon. Swear to you, I've seen that happen. Not once, not twice. I've seen that happen 5 times. It's a godforsaken country we live in. Anyways, I had this question last time be asked to me, but I didn't get to it fast enough for last week's questions. This question says, if society collapses, where do you go? What do you do? Society collapsing is probably going to happen, and it's probably going to happen in the coming months. So, this is good. This is a good question. What I would do, I actually think about this a lot. Let's combine these two conversations, technology and society collapsing. I think about, it was also last week's conversation when we talked about just how crazy technology might get. If things go south and people start working from home in VR and never leaving and getting everything delivered, which it's going that way, but also kind of not. I think people are kind of sick of it. But if it does end up going that way and everything's delivered to your home, you never have to leave your house ever. I mean ever. Never leave your house. You don't go hang out with your friends. You don't go watch a movie. You don't go, walk around a hill because you can do it all from your VR headset or wherever. That weird dystopian future that we see in a lot of like Ready Player One status, but less dystopian. Dude, I go into the mountains, bro. You can always disconnect. I'm not scared of like Iran bombing us. I'm not scared of that stuff. I think on that front, we kind of have everything under control. Every once in a while, we'll fly one of our own planes into a building to go start a war. But for the most part, I think war is pretty, chill. It's kind of just this money-making machine on the side. I'm not worried about like a nuclear war. Because nobody wants a nuclear war. Nobody wants the whole earth to be gone. It's just not in anybody's card. We like to bluff, but, What I am scared of, and what's way more likely, is that everyone is not trapped in their homes, but willingly. That's the scariest part. Willingly, just staying at their homes because it's better than outside. Because outside is scary. Outside, you actually have to put forth effort into your physical appearance. You can't just have a skin that looks the same every day and looks better than you do right now. You can eat whatever you want and you'll still have a six-pack in VR. And, that's more terrifying. So in that case, I pack up and I head to the hills. The distant hills. I'm not saying just the hills, bro. The distant hills. Like remote hills in like Montana or something, And I build myself a cabin. And I just go back to freaking, I just go back to country times, dude. I just go back to killing animals by myself with a dog. If I have a family at this time, maybe I go bring my family out there. We just live off the land, dude. People did it before, dude, and we can do it again. So that's my advice to you. You go into the hills or you go to a remote location and you just restart life. Just start life. You just rewind back to, I don't know, 1850 or something. Travel by wagon, by horse. You'll be more in tune with nature, dude, and nature's just dope, dude. Nature's kind of sick. Just the way everything kind of works out. It's beautiful. I love nature. So that's what I do. Okay? Now, let's get into the TikToks of this episode. I just have a bunch of links here. I don't know what they are. I don't know if I should preface them beforehand because they might be iffy. Okay, so this is a plane-themed episode today. This one's not really that funny. Why is it not playing? Alexa, why is it not playing? Play on the Roadcaster. Oh, because the volume's down, dude. Professional. Okay.
I'm going to ask you a quick question because I want to see a show of hands. How many people here were born before 1976? Oh, we got a lot of old people on this plane. I'm disappointed. Give me a minute here because I just want to say 1976. first training flight in the Air Force. The Air Force Academy.
Let's lift off, dude. Let's lift off. Good night. I'm trying to get to Cozumel, dude. That's my thoughts. This girl's crying. And I'm such a douchebag. I understand that. Hey, let's fly. Can you talk over the intercom while we're flying? Can you talk over the intercom while we're on our way to Honolulu, please? And thank you. I didn't pay, $240 for this round trip flight to hear your talk. And I'm sorry, dude, but it had to be said. And I'm sorry, dude, but it had to be said. We have a plain theme TikTok today, dude. Okay, this gotta be the one. Yes, dude. Okay. So, I'm gonna bleep this one a little bit because I just don't like some of the words he says. I'm sorry. So, you guys may have seen this TikTok. It involves a red bandana, a Burger King crown, and an icon.
Please you need to stop. There are children. Please stop.
So this man is a menace to society, dude. He is a menace to society, bro. He is crazy, dude. Watch this guy. Watch this guy. Look at the smirk after, dude. Look at the smirk after this man. He says, kick that off the plane. And then he goes right into it, dude. Smirk. He knows what he's about to do. Just yells the N-word on the plane, dude. This guy's crazy. And he's all over TikTok. So yeah, that was funny. Sorry for the language. It was funny. What's this one now? Okay. This is a redneck man. And to preface this, this is literally everybody that lives in my town. So I just want you guys to see this. It's hilarious.
I don't even know where to begin. I'm so pissed. I'm Donnie Baker, and I'm here to report a violation of statute of limitations to Court 7. I ain't filed the paperwork, but I want this on the record. This is where my boat used to be.
This is where my boat used to be.
My boat's been impounded. And I just built this boat.
I can't tell if this is fake or not, dude.
I want the state to reimburse me for all that lumber. Okay? Because my boat, now I've got to mow this now. And some nights I would sleep in it. You not only impounded a boat, you took a whole room addition.
What, dude?
All because my neighbor to the north told the homeowners association my boat was an eyesore. Well, so's your wife, Mitchell. We ain't supposed to have livestock in this neighborhood, yet you married a sea cow. I'll say it right to his face.
I'll say it right to his face. I'll say it right to his face. I want the state to reimburse me for all that lumber. I can't tell if that's real or not, dude, but if it's real, so amazing. I love it. I love it. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you guys have seen the MyPillow thing. MyPillow, you've seen the commercials, bro. I guarantee you've seen the commercials. I don't know what the guy's name, Mike Lindell. His name is Mike Lindell, apparently. I thought it was like Ron or something. Anyways, I don't know what this is, dude. It looks like kind of like a Zoom call that they were doing, and somebody called in as Trump, and he thought it was actually Trump. Let's just take a look, bro.
Sir, breaking news here with a guest.
Hello?
Hello, yes, I have Mr. Trump on standby. Are you ready?
Yes.
Mr. Trump on standby.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello, everyone.
We have the president here.
Look how happy he
real
is.
president, everyone.
Look how happy.
Hello, Mr. President.
MacronShow.com, bitch.
Okay.
All right. Sorry,
guess that
folks.
wasn't. I guess that was. You see what they're doing? They're attacking us. They're attacking us, and this is what. I mean, that even came up. They're hacking into our phones. It came up that it was a legitimate number.
Call.
A legitimate. I know the number's coming from.
Okay, dude, they're tapping our phones. You mean you got a call, dude? You mean you got a phone call? That's not tapping. It's tap and call. It's not tapping into your phones. You got a phone call. And he's like, I know they did it as a number. I know that number was coming straight from the White House. I know it by heart because President Trump and I are very good friends and we call all the time, and he's going to take me golfing someday. At Mar-a-Lago. We're going golfing at Mar-a-Lago. I know that as a fact because we call all the time, as I said previously. And they are tapping our phone lines. Who is they, by the way? The Democrats? These Democrats are tapping our phone lines. You got a call, and it made you look stupid. That's not tapping. That ain't tapping, Mike Lindell. That's just calling. What is our next TikTok?
Coop,
Yeah, Super
I think I'm in
Coop.
love with you, and I think I want you to have my kids.
Pause. That's very sus. I don't roll that way. Sorry, dude.
Let me see your balls.
Okay.
No.
My guy Coop was not having it. He was not having it that day, dude. Pause. Dude, if you guys don't know Super Coop Anderson on freaking TikTok is the funniest TikTok I've ever seen. He is the best TikToker on the app. And that's not a joke. That's not I'm not messing around. He's the funniest creator on the app. Dead serious. Super Coop Anderson, dude. He was just on this Instagram live. That makes me laugh so hard.
I think I'm in love with you, and I think I want you to have my kids.
That look, dude.
That's very sus. I don't roll that way. Sorry, dude.
That's
let
very
me see your balls.
sus. I don't roll that way. Okay.
Okay.
No.
Super Coop. Let everybody tag Super Coop in the comments, dude. We gotta get Super Coop on the podcast. Super Coop, if you're watching this, please come on my show. You are my favorite TikToker ever, dude. I love you. Get Super Coop to see this TikTok. I swear, dude. Tag him in the comments right now. What else do we have, dude? TikTok. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to watch this, to be downright honest with you. This was, This is and was and will always be the worst video I've ever seen in my lifetime. I don't think I've ever really cringe. Like, obviously you say stuff and you're like, oh, dude, that's so cringe. Dude, you're being so cringe right now, dude. Dude, why are you being so cringe? You know what I mean? But this really, it made my body move like this. For those of you not watching the video podcast, you can find it on YouTube at Brock Gardner, but I'm doing this. It's bad, dude. It's so bad. So it's this what is this? A talent agency? Oh no. Oh Lord Almighty. So this is the El Dorado Musical Theater. And it's beautiful, dude. They sing Driver's License with SpongeBob impressions, and none of them sound like SpongeBob. So I'll narrate as it goes. So they're singing Driver's License. This is supposed to be Patrick.
Probably with that blonde girl who always made me
Sounds nothing like Patrick, dude.
She's so much older than me.
Just a redneck accent for Sandy. This is supposed to be SpongeBob.
Through the suburbs.
This is supposed to be Squidward.
And I just can't imagine
This is supposed to be Mr.
how
Krabs.
you could be so okay now that I'm gone. I guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song, right?
This is the only one, dude. The Plankton impression rips.
Driver's license with SpongeBob impressions.
Oh! I genuinely I don't know if I could watch that again. I don't know if I can watch this again. I truly don't know, because I think if I do, my heart will explode from stress and secondhand embarrassment. And I love these kids, and I'm going to leave this a like, to be honest. And also, I'm going to comment that this video rips, just to give them, because I'm trying to balance my... This video is awesome. Just to try and balance my karma. So I gave him a like, I gave him a nice comment, but also, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my lifetime. And maybe they're good singers, and maybe they're good performers, but why did you do this combination of things? Driver's license with SpongeBob impressions? Why? And none of them sound like, if they were good, if they were like, hey, that's kind of funny, we can all do like pretty good like SpongeBob character impressions. Oh, why don't we sing this popular song doing those impressions? But dude, they sound nothing like these. Dude, this is the best and worst TikTok on the app. It's polarizing. I can't watch it again, but I can't help it. And immediately after I stop this podcast, I will watch this 3 times in a row, and I will die. So you'll probably never see this footage because I'll be dead. So classic, dude. Oh my gosh, so good. And there's our boy Super Coop again. So that was our lineup for TikToks, dude. Hope you enjoyed the TikTok segment of this podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And now, let's make the tier list right now, and then I'll finish up with talking about this book, Atomic Habits. So I asked you guys on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, at Kendall Brock on Instagram, KENDALLBROC on Instagram. And so I asked you guys what your favorite songs were, because I was going to put them on a tier list. And if you guys haven't seen these tier lists, they are, it's like the S plus. You've seen them probably. Most likely you've seen them. So I have this tier list right here, and we're just gonna kind of go through. So the first one, let me get to my notes here. I listened to all these songs. Some of you guys were way late after I already made the list, so I might give you an honorable mention, but it won't actually be on the tier list. So the first song is Mumbai Power by Skrillex. And I feel bad because I'm really not into the EDM sort of stuff. Skrillex has never really been my thing, but it sounds good in my ears. But I'm just not like a dubstep guy. I'm not like a... But if you're into that, it's probably a dope song, and the kid that dropped this is into that. But so my initial reaction is lower because I just don't like EDM, and I don't like, Skrillex. But it sounds cool, so it's getting a B, so we're going to throw it right there on a B. Next one, Dark Fantasy by Kanye West. This is very biased because I love Kanye West and I love this album. This is the opening track to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is regarded as one of the best rap albums of all time. And while I don't think it is the best on the track list, it's definitely not the worst. It's probably somewhere in the middle for me. But the kid who dropped this also did say they wanted to put Runaway by Kanye West, but they thought that was too basic. So they put Dark Fantasy. So I'm going to give Dark Fantasy is a solid S and maybe an A. Not quite S plus yet. That's just a great track, especially the first half is just really cool. This next song, Mr. Perfectly Fine by Taylor Swift. Your boy is not the biggest Taylor Swift guy in the world. I have a soft spot for Tay. Because, you used to listen to the old Taylor Swift, and this sounds like old Taylor Swift, the country Taylor Swift, but it's just not my favorite, but it's not terrible, it doesn't make me want to, like, claw my, head off, so it's getting in the B category, too. So Taylor Swift, Mr. Perfectly Fine, and I just don't like breakup songs, dude. I'm not a breakup song guy, unless it's Kanye. Basically, I just don't like anything besides Kanye. That's not true. I have one of the most diverse music tastes of all time. I listen to Thank God I'm a Country Boy by John Denver, and I immediately switch over to like the Beastie Boys, and then I immediately switch over to like Kanye, and then I'll immediately switch over to like, I don't know, Suit and Tie by Justin Timberlake. I'll listen to whatever, dude, as long as it sounds good in my ears. House of the Wolves, Bring Me the Horizon. Songs absolutely sucks. It's a screamo song, and it's another thing. I like screamo though, dude. I like certain screamo stuff, you know? For some reason I have a liking towards that. But I just didn't enjoy this song. It's fine, I guess. It's just kind of screamo has to be a certain way for me to like it. So that's where that's going. It's going to a C, baby. Next song, Runaway by Kanye West featuring Pusha T. One of the greatest songs of all time. And to the person that put Dark Fantasy instead, I'm sorry. Runaway gets an S+, dude. Runaway is an S+. Kanye bias. Let's go. Dude, the start of Runaway, it gives me anxiety. So if you guys have never heard Runaway, I recommend go listen to it. I actually disowned my mother last night because she said that Kanye sounds terrible in Runaway. And so I kicked her in the head. KO'd her right there, like Jake Paul. Knocked her out, and then went immediately to child services and told them that my parents beat me. And so I will be removed from the home, and I'll be actually relocated to an undisclosed location because my mom said that Kanye didn't sound good in Runaway. So Runaway is a God tier song. The beginning of that song is just one single piano note. Burn, burn, burn. For like a bunch of beats, and then it finally goes down, dun, dun, and then it goes. Oh my gosh, dude, the beat is so sick, dude. The instrumentals, that's probably the best Kanye instrumentals is that album, but just for like it's not my favorite album of all time. Next one, What's Poppin' remix. So I like Jack Harlow, and I actually. My biggest flex, people always talk about their flexes of like who they liked before they were cool. Jack Harlow is my biggest flex on that, because I've been listening to Jack Harlow since 2018 when the one album, what is the album called, Loose or something, came out. And so I've been listening to Harlow for a lot. He's never been really my favorite, but I did really like What's Poppin', and I like that I can rap Jack Harlow fully. I don't have to skip any words. Because he's white, if you know what I mean. So, What's Poppin' original would be definitely an S tier song. I like What's Poppin'. The piano is sick. Dun, 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 dun. And he also has that bar about Shigo, who is the hot chick from Kim Possible. And I just think that goes hard. And I like Jack Harlow because he is attracted to cartoon characters and is open about it, and I respect that, dude. So, but this one featuring DaBaby, I like DaBaby, fine, but like feature songs and remixes are too much for me. When there's too many features, it's too much. What did I put this as? I put this as an A. I put What's Poppin' as an A, the remix. If it wasn't the remix, the original would go to S, but not a remix guy. Trap Feels. That is this one right here. This SoundCloud song. You know, I was going into it expecting some dope bars. There was none. There was no bars at all. There was no words, which is fine. I'm into instrumentals. I think instrumentals are cool. But the instrumental was pretty bland and not really grabbing me. No cool samples or anything like that. Kind of basic hi-hats. Wasn't mixed the greatest. But it wasn't like, you know, I didn't want to die. So it gets a D. That one gets a D. Rumor. This is a country song about something, I'm sure. I don't enjoy it particularly. Not a country guy. Not the biggest country boy in the world. I'll listen to it and I like some of it. I definitely like old country, dude. Here's my stance on old country real quick. old country, dude, when you're talking about like Cash and like Marty Robbins, those guys, dude, rap and country used to be completely switched. Nowadays, rap is all about like murdering people and like just being a thug, and country's kind of about like, yeah, we went down to the creek with a beautiful blonde girl and my dog. But old, dude, back in the day, the 80s was like a hip hop, hippity hop. I went down to the hat store to buy myself a hat, like Donald Glover said. And Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins were just talking about murdering dudes. They were just talking about killing guys. Like, most of their songs involve them killing somebody or beating somebody up. There's one Johnny Cash line in Folsom Prison Blues. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. That's the hardest line I've ever heard in not just a country song, any song. Any song. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. What, dude? Dude, Cash, John, you good? Dude, Johnny Cash, are you good? I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Cash, hey, bud. Hey. Sorry, I'm sick. Hey, Johnny. So I was listening to the new mix of the new album. Oh yeah. I don't know what Johnny Cash sounds like. Yeah, did you enjoy it? Yeah. So there's some good stuff on there, but there's one line in Folsom Prison Blues. Yeah, Folsom Prison Blues. You said you shot a man in Vegas? Reno. I shot a man in Reno. Yeah, I shot a man in Reno. And why'd you do that exactly? Just to watch him die. Okay. Are you good, John? Do you need to talk to somebody, Johnny Cash? Anyways, so yeah, country used to be super thug, and now it's super not thug. And so I'm not the biggest country guy. So Rumor gets a C. It's fine. There's a rumor going round. Just not good. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. The Boys. Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the greatest songs of all time. Unarguable. And it's S tier. Not quite S plus for me. Asked me 3 years ago, it would have been S plus tier, but now it's just S, dude. It's a fine song. For its time, when it came out, dude, it was one of the craziest songs. It was like the most experimental song probably of all time at that point. They just had 3 songs in one, just this crazy opera, but, you know, it's too mainstream now. Sorry. That's such a douchebag thing to say. Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo is an E. Screw that song. Screw Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo, dude. I mean, the vocals, dude, are fine. The singing is fine. But that singing, having a good voice is not enough to get by anymore, in my opinion. It's not enough. You gotta have other stuff. You gotta have interesting music. You can't just sing good anymore. Back in the day, you could sing good and get away with it because not a lot of people were out there singing, you know? So if you could sing good and you were, you know, a good performer, you could go out there and do it. Dude, now you gotta do something different. You can't just sing over some piano. Truly and honestly. And I don't understand the hype with this song. It was hyped up before it came out. After it came out, everyone was like, I'm crying right now. Olivia Rodrigo is so broken. Shut the F up, dude. Olivia Rodrigo doesn't know shiz. Johnny Cash shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Olivia Rodrigo, oh, you got your driver's license? Oh, Olivia Rodrigo just a driver's license. So this boy doesn't like her. Grow up, dude. Grow up. If I wrote a song about every mishap in my life, I'd have 12 studio platinum albums. Johnny Cash watched a man die in Reno. He shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I drove past your house multiple times today. Like, Billie Eilish is one of those, but she actually has, like, I think, interesting instrumentals. Like, if Billie Eilish doesn't have her brother, dude, she's nothing in my eyes. She can sing good, and she has like a cool, weird aesthetic that makes everybody like her. But dude, without Phineas behind the scenes making those sick beats and the cool instrumentals, she's literally nothing. She's just another Olivia Rodrigo. But and another thing, dude, everyone was also talking about how young she was. Oh, she's so young. She made driver's license when she was like 17. She's only 17 and she made this masterpiece. What, dude? Number one, Joey Badass was 17 when he made 1999 in 2012. That's a confusing sentence. 1999 is the name of the album. It came out in 2012, the year. Joey Badass is a rapper. He was 17 when he dropped 1999 in 2012. Can I say more numbers in one sentence, dude? Yeah, I don't think I can. And Red Veil, friend of the podcast, not really, doesn't know it existed. But Red Veil, if you're watching this, please contact me because I'd love to have you on the show. And I've contacted your manager multiple times and he won't get back to me. But he got back to me on Instagram somehow. But then when I emailed him, because he gave me his email on Instagram, now he can't get back to me. And it's been a couple months and I keep emailing him. Anyways, Red Veil, if you're watching this, love to have you. Red Veil made Niagara when he was 16, and that's one of the best albums ever, dude. Not even by like a young person. That's one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. Both of those, 1999 and Niagara, are crazy good albums. And they were both young, and they are infinitely better than this one song that she didn't produce herself, number one. Probably didn't write. This was written by like studio executives, dude. This was written by studio execs that were like, dude, you know what would make little girls freaking just want to listen to your song over and over again? If you sing about like a boy that like doesn't like you. And she's like, oh, but like I get every guy I want because like I'm famous and like I'm pretty, and so like every guy wants to get. Yeah, but just pretend. Just pretend. Yeah, but like what guy like wouldn't want me? Well, you know, like that guy, I don't even know the story. Is it like a guy she like acts with? You know, like that guy that you act with? Oh yeah, he's like my best friend. Let's pretend like he's getting with this other chick that's also famous. And then everybody will care about your song. Because if there's no drama behind it, nobody's going to care. And that's where that song came from, if you didn't know. That was all 100% factual. That was not me looking in. That was 100% factual because I know Olivia Rodrigo personally. Die a Happy Man by Thomas Rhett is a fine song. It's a C, maybe a B-. I kind of like that song, dude. It kind of goes hard. If all I got is your hand in my hand, baby, I could die a happy man. Ladies, if you're listening to this, if my voice is turning you on right now, hit me up, because all I need is your hand in my hand, and I could die a happy man. I tell you what, sister. Anyways, that's the tier list. Let's go to Instagram for all you late people. Good night. You guys freaking take forever. All right, so we have Drunk Driving. I have no idea what that song is. King Kunta, that's an S+ song. That's S+. King Kunta by Kendrick Lamar is S freaking plus. Killing Me Softly by Fugees, S. That's a great song. Ben's Truck, I have no effing idea. Forget Me Too, I have no effing idea what that is. Caught Up in the Country, I don't know what that is. Wants and Needs is a song by Drake. One Beer by MF Doom, S+. And that's the tier list, dude, and I wish I had time to do the other songs and put them on here properly, but that's the thing, dude. And thank you guys that participated in this. That was fun. I want to do more kind of, just different stuff like this. So give me ideas what I should do next. I could do tier lists or just, talk about, I just want to roast you guys because you guys have terrible taste in media and I have such superior taste. But yeah, dude, that was fun. And I have a few minutes here. I have just a few minutes. So let me talk about this book called Atomic Habits / this other book I'm reading called Outliers. So I finished Atomic Habits and I started Outliers. I'm about halfway, probably more than halfway through Outliers. So Atomic Habits has some interesting stuff. Let me get the author on this because I just, I want to give credit where credit is due. It's like James something. Atomic Habits is actually not even close to how you spell it. James Clear is the author of Atomic Habits. And basically, the whole thing is just kind of teaching you, like, how to form good habits and how to get rid of bad habits using the same method. So we'll teach a lesson. It's kind of cool. So we'll teach a lesson about how habits are formed, like the behavior of habits. And then he'll teach you how to use that to build good ones. And then he'll teach you the inverse, how to use that to get rid of bad habits. And it's just kind of a cool book. So one of the like analogies he used was he's talking about a plane, because you don't really think of habits. It's like if I do this thing for like a minute a day, every day, it doesn't seem like it'll do that big of a difference. But it's like if you have a plane going from LA to New York and you're on course and you move like 3 degrees off course and fly the whole thing, you'll end up in, what does it say? You'll end up in Washington, D.C. So that's like a pretty significant, just by 3 degrees. So that's kind of like what the whole book is about, like forming these good habits and trying to break your bad habits so you can move in the right direction. And another interesting thing that he talked about, which if you're like, if you're in the space where you're doing stuff but you're not seeing results, this was kind of super helpful. Because like with this, with the podcast, it relates to my podcast a lot, because I'm doing podcasts every week and it's not really growing that much, and it kind of gets me down sometimes, because it's like, why I'm like putting towards the work, why isn't it working out? And one of the things he talked about was like, if you think about an ice cube, picture if you put an ice cube on a table and the room is at 27 degrees and you raise the temperature by 1 degree to 28 degrees. That's not going to do anything to the ice cube. It's still frozen. So you raise it another degree to 29. It's still frozen. Didn't do anything. So you raise it to 30. Still nothing. Ice hasn't really moved. Raise it to 31. Still aren't seeing results. So you've raised it 4 degrees from 27 to 31, and you haven't seen any results. Now, by this time, you might be getting discouraged. Like, why isn't this ice cube melting? Why am I not seeing the progress? I've raised it 4 degrees in this room. Why am I not seeing the progress? And you might give up right there, dude. And if you just go 1 more degree to 32, it starts to melt. So that's kind of like a weird thing to think about. It's making progress, but you just can't see it. You can't see what's actually happening. But yeah, a lot of it is just like talking about doing things without seeing the actual effects until, because you never do that, dude. It's like if you're working out and stuff, you never see results until you actually look back at what you used to look like. You always, because you'll work out and you'll look at yourself, and that's how you look. That's what you look like for the day, and you do that, so you never see a change. Really, it's always minuscule changes that you just can't notice with the human eye, and so you just get used to yourself looking like that, and then you never really see progress until you look at your fat self before. You're like, dang, I was 200 pounds, dude. I looked like that back then, and now I look like this. Like, that was a huge difference, but I never noticed it during the process. And it's the same thing with if you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to do in life, dude. If you're trying to break a barrier, if you're trying to break through on something, you can't do it with just 1 degree. You got to keep going, dude. And you might not see the progress until it actually happens, but you just got to figure it out. And another thing was fall in love with the process, not the product. You need to fall in love with doing the thing, because if you're always just focused on your goals, that's another thing. People make goals and stuff, but if you're always so focused on those goals, you're not gonna love your life, dude. If your goal is like, I want to have $10 million in my retirement when I retire, and your whole life you're just like chasing that, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll be happy when I'm retired and have 10 mil in the bank, and then you get to that point. You wasted 65 years. You wasted your whole life trying to get to that goal. And to some people that might be worth it, I don't know. But you got to fall in love with the process. You got to fall in love with every day instead of just the end goal. And that's something I got to adapt, dude. Because I'm so in my own head, and like my head's in the clouds, dude. Constantly. I'll zone out all the time just thinking about what I want to do in the future. Will I always be podcasting? No, I probably won't always be podcasting. It's going to shift into something else. And I'll be doing other stuff in like 6 months. This will be completely different. And like, I just like to think about stuff like that, and I get in my head, but it's like, you got to focus on what's going on now. You got to focus on right now. You got to fall in love with that. I think about, you know, being successful in creating and podcasting and all this different stuff so it can open up different avenues to all these different things I want to do, because there's so much stuff I want to do, dude. I want to start my own radio station now, dude. That's my next thing. That's my new thing. I want to start my own radio station, you know? I want to make movies, start my own radio station, write a book, have a successful podcast. Like, there's so many things I want to do, and there's all these avenues I want to go. So I just I think about those a lot, and it's kind of hard to stay in the now and focus on what I'm doing right now so I can get to those. Because if you just focus on those all the time and you don't really focus on what you're doing to get there right now, you're never going to get there. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I don't know. Another thing was like, this is kind of specific, but if you want to, everybody has a talent, you know, or multiple talents. Most people have talents in different areas. And one of the things it was talking about was like, I guess specifically for me, it would be podcasting, just for an example. So like, if I'm a good talker, if I'm good at talking to myself and, you know, performing for the camera or whatever, then there's lots of people that can do that, right? There's lots of people that can talk and perform and do a good job and make something that somebody wants to watch. So what's different from me than, you know, like a Rogan or a Dalia? What's different? And so you kind of have to look at combining your other talents. So like, if you're, I don't know, just a weird example would be like, if you're into filming and like making videos, but you're also into hunting, you can combine those two things and just film your hunts and stuff, make videos about hunting. That's pretty niche, and that's going to take you further than if you were just hunting and, you know, videoing separately. So that's something to think about. I don't know, just weird stuff. You combine your talents to stand out is basically what it says. So yeah, dude. And with Outliers, it was kind of crazy. There's not really that. I might just not even finish it. I probably will, but it's kind of weird, dude. It's just kind of talking about all these different factors that go into people being successful that you don't really think about. Like, I don't know. One example is like all hockey players in professional hockey are born in the first 3 months of the year, most of them. And it's just like this weird phenomenon because the age cutoff is like January 1st for like Pee Wee hockey or something. So the people that are older are going to have scouts look at them more to get on travel teams and stuff, and they're going to have more experience. Talks about weird stuff like that, and then just like the 10,000 hour rule, which I think is crazy. And just all this different stuff that kind of is factors of how people became successful. Anyways, those are two book recommendations. Who wrote Outliers? I'm going to look that up real quick so you guys can go check it out. So Atomic Habits by James Clear, and Outliers is by Malcolm Gladwell. I just remembered it before it even came out. Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers. And yeah, dude, those are the two books that I've read this week. And next week I'm probably going to read, I don't know what I'm going to read. Something good, probably. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody that participated in the Instagram stuff. If you made it this far, give it a comment, dude. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. I'm out here trying my best to give you guys content every week, baby. Haven't missed a week. Next week is the big 60 podcast episode. It's crazy, dude. It's kind of crazy. I didn't think I would make it this far, to be honest. I was thinking like, so there's a statistic that most podcasts die at episode 4. People only go 4 episodes. That's the average amount of episodes that podcasts have is 4 episodes. And ours almost died at 4, dude. Ours almost died at 3. We did 1 episode and then another episode like 2 weeks later and then a 3rd episode. And then we just never did one again until like March. And, you know, whatever. But now ever since September, we've been consistent as F, dude. I haven't missed a week, dude. Haven't missed a week. And we won't for a while. I'm going to keep pumping these out for you guys. But it's crazy to think how far we've come, dude. 60 episodes isn't that much compared to the grand scheme of things. Like, I downloaded all of Howard Stern's archives, dude, and that guy did 1 episode, I think every weekday they did on the radio. And there's just so much content out there. So I got to get on my horse, dude. But, you know, podcast is moving. Podcast is changing. There's some exciting stuff that I'm working on right now. For the future, probably not till, the after summer. You guys probably won't see it, but I'm moving to St. George, gonna go to school there for media, and dude, I was looking at my classes, bro. A lot of it is like radio production, audio production, video production, like stuff I just love. And a lot of people might think that's a silly major and stupid, and I'd agree with them, but it's like I'd rather be doing that and taking classes that I'm interested in and that I could, it's harder to make a career out of that degree, but looking at it, I'm just excited. I'm not dreading it. I'm not dreading going to class. I'm excited to learn about audio engineering. That's stuff I've always wanted to learn, and it'll just help me with everything else I'm doing. So it's just kind of crazy, dude. Don't let people put you down. Don't do a major just because you think it'll be good for your looks or whatever, just because it'll get you a good job or whatever. Do what interests you. Do what interests you, man. And you'll never have a bad day, probably. You probably will. I don't even know what I'm saying, dude. We've gone so long on this podcast. Thank you, guys. I love you so much. Tell your friends about the show. Leave it a like, comment, subscribe. Okay, see you. Love you.